Congresswoman Debbie Lesko. Thank you so much for joining us. We definitely appreciate having you here with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So explain to viewers and Americans what is happening at the border and how, when people are struggling to get the vaccination themselves, these folks are being put ahead of the line.
Well, I have a large senior citizen community in my congressional district, and quite frankly, in Arizona, there's lots of senior citizens, and they are desperate to get the vaccine because they're scared to death that they're going to die of COVID-19. And here we have all these seniors calling my office on news media saying, we can't get the vaccine, but yet the Biden administration seems to want to prioritize illegal immigrants over U.S. citizens. That's just wrong, because these vaccines are taxpayer funded. So in Energy and Commerce Committee last week, of which I'm a member, there was a Republican amendment that said, listen, before you vaccinate illegal immigrants, Americans, meaning U.S. citizens and legal residents, should get the vaccine first. The Democrats all voted against that very common sense amendment. And then you see ICE detainees are getting these very scarce vaccinations. I mean, the problem is we don't have enough vaccines. In Arizona, we have more demand than we have supply. The Republican governor has asked for more doses. The entire Arizona delegation, Democrats and Republicans, senators and Congress members, we've all asked the Biden administration for more vaccination doses here in Arizona, and the Biden administration has rejected us.
Yeah, you know, what you're saying about people having a tough time finding it in Arizona, absolutely right. I have some good friends that are in Scottsdale, and they've been working very hard trying to find it. So how do you undo this? I mean, can an executive order change this? It sounds like you went through the congressional process. Do you need to appeal directly to President Biden? And if so, do you think you'd have any success?
Well, so far, Governor Ducey, who is a Republican, has appealed right to the Biden administration. So have Democratic Senators Kyrsten Sinema and Mark Kelly, all of the Democrat Congress members, all of the Republican Congress members in Arizona. We have all asked the Biden administration, whether that is FEMA or directly to President Biden himself, for more doses here in Arizona, and he's refused. He's declined it. So we have tried. And, you know, it just kind of shows the priority that the Biden administration has. I mean, they're willing to give these limited supply, taxpayer-funded vaccinations to illegal immigrants. And U.S. citizens and legal residents, our senior citizens, are desperate to get them. They all, you know, a couple weeks ago, there were 21,000 vaccination slots opened up, and in 39 minutes, they were all taken. And that was online. And a lot of these seniors don't have computers, so they have to call the number. They're being put on hold. They're being hung up on. They're on hold for hours and hours. They drive hours just to get a vaccination. This is just wrong. And you combine that with President Biden doing his executive order to close down the construction of the border fence along the border, and then saying, oh, 11 million or however many millions of illegal immigrants have already managed to illegally cross our border. Let's give them a pathway to citizenship. I mean, over and over again, the Democrats and the Biden administration are prioritizing illegal immigrants over U.S. citizens, legal residents, and the immigrants that are actually trying to immigrate to America in a legal fashion. This is wrong.
Yeah, Congresswoman, I remember the outrage just a couple of weeks ago when someone thought it was a good idea to prioritize the folks, the terrorists who were being held at Gitmo over American citizens as well. But I did read through some of what ICE had to say about this. So if you can just clarify for me, because they claim that DHS doesn't get a direct allocation of the vaccines. And they were saying that it's left up to each individual state when and how the vaccine is given to these detainees. Is that true? And does that give the state, at least Arizona specifically, a little more leeway as to when they can give the vaccine to some of these detainees, which I understand ICE has about 14,000 in custody?
Well, I'll have to investigate exactly what the state is doing, but you can just see from the Biden administration what their priorities are. I mean, they want to give citizenship to all of the illegal immigrants here. They want to stop the border fence. They wanted to give the vaccinations to people at terrorists in Guantanamo facility. And now you see how they want to give them to ICE detainees. They say, oh, well, you know, that's up to the states. To me, that's an excuse. They have the power to do. I mean, immigration, ICE is under DHS, you know, so they have the power to do whatever they want. And so to me, that's just an excuse. But I'm willing to look into it.
Okay. Well, we wish you luck, because a lot of people would look at that and say that it just doesn't sound right.
Yeah.
And we wish you luck ferreting out who's making those decisions and maybe reverse them if appropriate. Congresswoman Lesko, thank you so much.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.